don't let happen to you what happened to me. Or don't make the same mistakes I made and suffer the same things I suffered. And I'm talking about I got robbed, as you can see in the title of the thumbnail. I was robbed while making a vlog, while filming the Black Nazarene. And anybody who's lost a mobile phone or had the mobile phone pinched from them will know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything's in your mobile phone and it's a whole experience. Your banking details, your personal details, your contacts, your medical details, everything. It's very expensive and very inconvenient to replace. It was all caught on camera as well. I was making a vlog about the Black Nazarene and I caught it all on camera, and you can see them working their little techniques to get away with my phone, which you'll see in a short while because I'm going to show you. But is the Philippines a dangerous place? I'll answer that question in a little while. Today, to shoot this video, I've come to Chinatown, Binondo in Manila, to shoot the video of the New Year, the Chinese New Year. And there are hundreds of people here. And it's a great idea to put in practice the things I learned from the mistakes I made. I'm going to leave you some 5 or 6 safety tips later on. And some of them, number 4 I think it is, I was told that one by local Manila Filipinos. So it's one I didn't consider before, but I certainly do now. But let's take a look at what happened first. It still brings a tear to my eye. It's only short, but just have a look at them at work. Just a quick introduction to the situation I put myself in, just to add a little bit of context behind the story. I was at the Black Nazarene, which is, if you don't know, a huge Catholic religion occasion that takes place every January in Manila, and it attracts numbers up to about 6 million on some occasions. It's a hugely popular religious event. I knew what to expect, but I wanted to experience the spectacle, and I wanted to feel the atmosphere. And because I make the occasional blog, I wanted to try and capture some of it on camera. I took precautions. I wore shorts with pockets, with zips and buttons, and I wore a backpack and I put it on my front. I had valuables because I had cameras, but they went in a separate bag, and which was also on my front. My cell phone was in my shorts in my right hand pocket, but that was zipped and I thought it was safe. I thought I was safe from theft. I know life is tough in the Philippines. I know it. I get it. But crime is never acceptable. So just take a look. I've had to hide their identities, obviously, and sometimes the blur that I put on the screen didn't work quite sufficiently enough, so I've had to give them cartoon eyes at the start. But you can see what they get up to. Just take a look. Here we are as the procession approaches, and I'm approached by these 2 guys being friendly. I've hidden their identities, but the main guy there, he's the distractor. He's distracting my attention, while the other guy, he's more interested in what's in my pocket. You see him glance down, and that's where his focus of attention is. But I am concentrating on my camera, and I'm not really aware of what's going on around me. But if you're going to steal, don't wear a uniform. The uniform that they're wearing is easily traceable, and all the way back to his home, Barangay 601, which is in Sampaloc, near Quiapo. So somebody knows who these guys are. But here the distractions continue, and there he is, number 2, the pickpocket. He's trying to get in position behind me. I thought that was high spirits at the time, but I think now it was a distraction. But there is number 2. He's having a good look. He's getting in position. I'm distracted. There's too much going on. I'm trying to make a blog. I'm interacting with the crowd. I'm concentrating on my camera while they are concentrating on getting things out of my pocket. Luckily, I only had a mobile phone or cell phone in my right hand pocket. There was nothing in my other pockets that they could get their hands on. But as the procession disappears into the background, my phone is gone from my pocket. I didn't know it yet, but the procession's gone, and so is my cell phone. These are the shorts I wore at the Black Nazarene. As you can see, they've got zips and buttons
and they still managed to get in. It was from my right pocket, which zips down, so maybe that's why it took them so long, but they still managed to get in there. So that was that. It was gone in, the clip was only short, but I've shortened it. And it went in about 7 or 8 minutes to hang around. When I was looking back at the clips and I timed it, it was about 7 or 8 minutes it actually took them to get the phone out of my pocket. And the funny thing is, I was warned as I was walking down Taft Avenue on my way to the procession. I was warned by many locals who said, be careful, because there's a lot of people there. And I either underestimated their warnings or I just ignored them. But anyway, it happened and it's gone and it's past, so I have to move on. But just going back to that question, is the Philippines safe? And in my opinion, I've been here 3 years, and of course it's safe. It's no more dangerous than any other country. And taking Manila out of the question, because I don't think any capital city truly reflects the rest of the country. I don't think London truly reflects my hometown, that's for sure. But looking at some of the websites I looked at earlier, the Philippines is described as moderately safe, and I would describe it as safe. There are bad people everywhere you go, and the majority of Filipinos are warm, friendly, humble, and they're very kind. So I would describe the Philippines as a safe place. However, that doesn't mean you don't take precautions, of which I'll come on to in a minute. But it also said that the most prevalent crime in the Philippines is theft, of which I was a victim of, but I've been here 3 years, and that was the first time I've fallen victim to a crime. But one thing I did learn, which I found interesting, is that the homicide rate in the Philippines is less than the United States, which I was quite surprised about. But as I say, whenever you travel anywhere or wherever you are, you have to take precautions and you have to be aware of your surroundings. So I've made a list of safety precautions of how to keep yourself and your property a little bit safer. The first one is, and it's the one I ignored, is avoid crowds if you can. I didn't because I wanted to film the procession for the Black Nazarene, so you can't always avoid crowds, and if you travel by the MRT and LRT. But there are precautions that you can take. Number 2, don't make yourself a target. Plan before you go out and be discreet. Don't draw attention to yourself by wearing jewellery and expensive watches and designer clothes. I'm quite lucky in that respect because I've got little bits of leather around my neck or around my wrist. I don't even own a watch. I didn't draw attention to myself. I made other mistakes. But if you draw attention to yourself like that, you're only going to make yourself a target. It's best that you blend in and don't make yourself look too attractive, if you know what I mean. You can look attractive, but don't look too expensive. But if you like the video, please press subscribe and the likes button. I would much appreciate it, and I'll make sure you are always covered by CCTV and it never ever happens to you. Thank you very much. Number 3 I would say is don't take a wallet. If you take a wallet or a purse with all your cash and all your ID in, if it does go missing, you've lost everything. So I would say take one form of ID, a passport or a driving license. In some countries they require you to carry a passport, but don't take everything with you. Secrete small amounts of money around your person, and that can be in a money belt or something like that. The advice I've had from Filipinos around here is that the women stuff money down their bras, down their pants even, but small amounts in different places in your body so they can't get everything. If they get something, they won't get everything. And the 4th one, told to me by Filipinos who have a lot of experience in Manila, have a pocket with only small bills in. So if you're going to buy street food, things of a low cost, or if you're going to hand people who ask for money in the street, if you're that way inclined, if you're going to give them some money, you can give them a small bill for some food, and it's not going to, again, identify you as a target. I was wearing a shirt similar to this when I was in the crowded area yesterday, and I put all my small bills in my breast pocket. See, put out your small bills, and it's not going to draw attention to yourself, and you can give them 20s or 50s, and it's going to keep you safe. And lastly, but this is not an exhaustive list, but the last one on my list is just be aware of your surroundings. You can usually see the warning signs. This is where I fell down. because I didn't see the warning signs. I didn't see them guys hanging around me for 7 minutes, which is far, far too long for a selfie. But I was lost in the moment. But if you're aware of your surroundings, you can usually see the warning signs. Someone giving you a bit more attention than they should, or someone following you, or someone getting too close. So just be aware of your surroundings. This is not just in Manila, this is general advice anyway. There's videos on social media of gangs of kids on bikes in London cycling past people who are using their mobile phones, snatching them out of the hand while they're using it. So it goes on all over the place. Oh, and there's one more. It wasn't really on my list, so consider it a bonus. But if you looked at the video, you'd have seen that I wore my bag on the front like this. So you can keep an eye on your possessions. You can get bags with the zips which are inaccessible to anybody who wants to get their hands on your goodies. But if you've got a bag like mine with easy accessible zips, then it's best to, in a crowded place anyway, it's best to keep it on your front where you can keep an eye on it. Because if I'd been wearing it on my back that day at the Black Nazarene, I'm sure somebody would have helped themselves to the goodies that I was carrying in my back, and they would have had away my ham sandwiches. And if they'd had my ham sandwiches, I would have been really annoyed. But they only got my expensive mobile phone. Oh, I still cry.